Cześć, witajcie, ja jestem Kalwi.pl, ale to już na pewno wiecie, skoro jesteście na tym kanale i właśnie w tej chwili, za chwilę, bo już za 4 minuty zaczynamy transmisję, właściwie retransmisję, nie no, transmisję, dobrze. Hostowanie, o tak to będzie brzmiało chyba najbardziej profesjonalnie. Hostowanie kanału, oficjalnego kanału TheDivisionGame na Twitchu, tak? Jest to zrobione na prośbę moich widzów i dla Was. No cóż, no obejrzymy razem, pogadamy sobie przy okazji, zobaczymy co deweloperzy, co deweloperzy powiedzą nam o nowym Dark Zone, o nowym PvP. Oczywiście to wszystko w Division 2. Ja się nie mogę doczekać. Takie są fakty. Nie wiem jak Wy. Zostało już 48 dni. No i cóż, czekamy, popatrzymy. Zostały 3 minuty, to już niedługo. Tak więc no zobaczymy, co pokażą nam deweloperzy, czego nie pokazali nam wszyscy youtuberzy, tacy jak Marco Style, tacy jak Widz, czy też SkillUp. Nawet nasz rodzimy Jarok ostatnio pokazywał na YouTubie relacje z pobycie w Malmo w Szwecji, gdzie mieli okazję właśnie pograć na Dark Zonach, na PvP. No i powiem szczerze, jako na osobę, jak go oglądałem, która miała okazję, miała tą wielką okazję pomacać, że tak brzydko powiem, gry, no to wypowiadał się dość pozytywnie na jej temat. Co będzie, ocenimy już w marcu, a niektórzy już między 7 a 11 lutego, kiedy to będzie prywatna beta dostępna dla wszystkich, którzy dokonali preorderu lub preordera, jak wolicie. No ja jestem jak najbardziej pozytywnie nastawiony, oglądając wszystkie te filmiki, patrząc na szczegóły, a lubię szczegóły, lubię jak gra wygląda nowocześnie, lubię jak na plecakach widać napisy, lubię jak ona po prostu wygląda ładnie, lubię 60 FPS-ów, a to podobno ma być na konsoli zapewnione, na Xboxie One X, tak więc... Tak, R1, witam Cię serdecznie. Tak, 1 minuta została, już 1 minuta. Tak więc, no cóż, no pozostaje nam czekać z niecierpliwością. To tylko 48 dni, tak jak już mówiłem. Cześć Pollux, cześć, witam Cię serdecznie, przepraszam za przejęzyczenie. Witam. Została minutka, już tam gdzieś słyszę. Słyszycie muzyczkę z tła, które jest. Ja może już Wam to puszczę. Cześć Fiolka, witam Cię serdecznie. Co słychać u Ciebie? Dawno się nie widzieliśmy. Macie tutaj już obraz, który widnieje na Twitchu. No i co? Oglądamy, komentujemy. Cześć Odziomek, witam Cię serdecznie. Cześć. Już dzisiaj drugi raz, ale to bardzo się z tego powodu cieszę oczywiście. Nie. Jest to bezpośrednio, ja czekam, wiesz, Elgato. Elgato, stream idzie bezpośrednio z konsoli, wiesz, idzie z konsoli, ja przełapuję obraz w OBS-ie, przełapuję konsolę i tak to wygląda. Okej, widzimy Division 2. Cześć Gregory, cześć.
For us, the Dark Zone and organized PvP, which we call conflict, are the culmination of 2.5 years of learning and evolution since just before
Cześć Monika, cześć.
being able to think about how we would approach all of those problems from the beginning with a true sequel, and building on all those learnings and all the feedback from the community is giving us the opportunity to do things the way that we really want to do them from the start. Launch for this game, just as it was the first time, is only the beginning.
Everything you see in The Division 2 is what we've always wanted. We love PvP, and so we want to make sure that
Pierwszy, ten pan w niebieskiej koszulce to pierwszy rogue Division. Tak się tytułował. Obrazy, które widzimy z gry, to dominacja.
Anything crazy to happen, they don't want any PvE in their PvP. It's by no means the end, you know, and there's going to be more things that happen over the course of post-launch and all that jazz. But for launch, it's exactly where we want it to be. I've worked on, you know, PvE games before The Division and The Division 2, and it is a different experience. You know that players are generally going to experience PvE content, especially as it relates to missions, in a linear fashion, and so you can plan things. PvP, much different, right? It's 360 degrees, especially in the Dark Zone. We have to plan for everything. The positions of the Dark Zone this time allow for a different experience altogether. And because of the nature in which we're unlocking the Dark Zones, it's a part of the open world and mission flow. So players can get swept up in just the arc of the game and then experience the Dark Zones separately, but in the proper order.
What we found is having the 3 different zones and each being able to focus on their own playstyle and biome and diversity and narrative and all of that stuff. You still get that same sense of being really surrounded by the story we're trying to tell.
And even though we've made them smaller, honestly, when you're in there, it still feels pretty damn big. It's still really intense.
The threat of players is still always around every turn, so as you're moving around, you're going to kind of be brushing elbows with them a little bit more, and that threat of whether or not PvP is going to happen is going to be a little more ever present.
And this time around, PvP is a pillar. It's a pillar from the get-go.
We knew that we wanted to integrate it from the ground up this time around and make it an integral part of the experience overall. We want players to come to the Division for PvP as much as they do for PvE.
We have a fantastic level design and art staff here at Redstorm, and now we can build custom maps. We didn't get to do that the first time, so letting them flex a little bit and show off and show people just, okay, this is how PvP is really supposed to be in the Division.
Being able to build custom maps that are dedicated to the PvP experience, and we know that our sightlines for objectives and domination are being managed and carefully monitored by the level designers. We're making sure that everything about the PvP gameplay that we want is part of the level design from the ground up, which is something we're really excited about.
Hello everyone, welcome to the special report live stream about the Dark Zones and PvP in the Division 2. You just saw Tony and Terry from Redstorm. We're going to talk to them later on, so stick around for that. My name is Petter, and I just want to make sure that we're going to talk about Dark Zones and PvP. We're going to have live gameplay all through this stream. But just remember that the build that we are using is still in development. There might be some bugs, there might be other things not working 100%.
Dzień dobry stało się, dzień dobry, dobry wieczór. Już się zamykam, żebyśmy Cię mogli słuchać.
Without further ado, let's introduce our very special guests here today. You guys are kind of Twitch veterans now, though. You've been around for a while. You've been here before.
It's always new and it's always nerve-wracking. So,
It is.
But just for the introduction, my name is Gene Garrity. I'm the creative director on The Division 2.
My name is Matthias Karlsson, game director on the game.
The game, The Division.
The game, The Division 2. The game.
The game.
The game.
You're right, Matt.
Just to reiterate what you were saying in the introduction, I mean, today we're focusing on Dark Zone and PvP.
Yeah.
This is really Red Storm's baby. They're going to jump
Yep.
in on the second half of the stream. What you're seeing today is live gameplay with people in the studio here who are going to be playing. And the charm of live gameplay is that we don't know what's going to happen.
Anything could happen. At this point,
and it's very important to keep in mind, this is not the final build. We're a long way off.
please keep that in mind
It's almost
as
more
you're
fun
watching.
if it's not perfect.
It is, right?
Yeah,
It is.
absolutely.
I think so too. Anyway, let's start off because while there will be veterans, a lot of veterans watching the stream right now, there will probably also be new people who might have heard the term Dark Zone before, but I just want to, before we kind of go into the details, what is a Dark Zone?
So, I mean, The Division is a monstrously big game. And when we were thinking about the first game, there was this special place in our hearts and within the map that we wanted to create a social experiment for people to go in and play something that was really different from every other experience out there. And we coined it the Dark Zone. Now, in terms of the lore, this was in Midtown Manhattan. It was in the middle of the map. It was a long stretch of land, which was meant to be the epicenter of where the government tried to control the pandemic, the virus being let loose. Obviously, that didn't happen so well, but the lore makes it that the best stuff in the game was there. There was some incredible loot to get there, but you had to extract it. And it was also a place where the Shade Network wasn't so great. So the social experiment was, okay, if the cameras aren't on you, who are you? Are you that agent, that division agent who's there to protect people, to stand up for what's good? Or are you Terry Spears, who's going to shoot you in the back? I mean, that was the question asked there. And to be honest, I'm notoriously a casual player of the Division, a casual player of games in general. But some of the best experiences that I ever had playing the game were going into the Dark Zone and exploring and finding just incredible stuff and friendships, pairing up with somebody who would accompany me. And then, you do a landmark together. You go to an extraction together. You like that person. So it was almost like...
And then you shoot them in the back? Or...
Nah, not me.
No.
Not me. Not me. I'm not that good, man. My Twitch gaming skills died off a few decades ago. But it was really a location where you found people that you wanted to play with.
Yeah.
And that you liked their style, you liked their build, you had a rapport. And that you could take outside of the Dark Zone too. So, this was 3 years ago. We launched 3 years ago. We've been listening to the community. We've been tweaking the Dark Zone, improving it, and it needed a lot of improvements. This is a live experiment.
Yeah.
And today we're ready to go live with the newest version of the Dark Zone for the Division 2.
Which leads us into the Division 2. So we've already announced last week, which was a scary moment, that there will be 3 Dark Zones in the Division 2 compared to the first one. In the first one, we had this big area in the middle of the map, kind of splitting the map in two, but now we have the 3 different Dark Zones spread around. So what was the creative idea? What was the concept behind having 3 Dark Zones in the Division 2?
Do you want to jump on this?
You want to jump on that?
Or do you want me to...
pounce like a little rabbit on this one. There's a multitude of reasons, to be honest. I think, first of all, not dividing the map with this wedge down the middle was a thing we saw as a big benefit. So you get this massive contiguous play space of PvE only open world, you know, with Dark Zone, you know, east, west, and south kind of hugging the edges, so to say, which also means that we can make these Dark Zones be in very different areas. Like they're very contrasting environments in terms of just their visuals, but also how open they are. You will see in the footage that Dark Zone West, which is in part of DC called Georgetown, narrow streets, you know, smaller low buildings, canal, is a very different place from the wide open grand areas around Union Station in East, right? But that also means it plays different. And could talk at length about that, but just having long open sightlines versus narrow winding streets is a very different experience and very different approach for you alone or with a group.
Right. So I think the best way we need to jump into the gameplay. We have Frederick and Astrid here in the studio and a bunch of other people in the building that will be playing live, and we're gonna start out actually in Dark Zone South.
No i chyba mamy to, na co czekaliśmy, tak? Mamy rozgrywkę, tak więc popatrzmy.
In the first game. So how do you build kind of the Dark Zone into the narrative?
So again, you know, we're gonna break the fourth wall a little bit and talk to you about game development as well, because when you go into a project like this, there's a whole bunch of different sources and inspirations and things that you want to achieve, and fundamentally, I think it's no secret that we're both passionate about design and gameplay and structure, but you know, narrative and the context and the world is so important. It is that decision that you're going to take to jump into these locations or not. So the Dark Zone conceptually
Mamy wrzuconego rogue'a, tak zwany szary rogue, tak? Ten, który ma być w części drugiej.
is unknown, that feels dangerous, that feels like you're stepping into a forbidden zone. And we wanted to keep that. But we also wanted to lean into what Matthias was saying, which was these unique architectural and city-wise structural differences that we have within this one-to-one recreation of Washington, D.C. So, you know, once we had the locations, once we decided, okay, for these reasons, we're going to create 3 different Dark Zones, then you can look at, okay, but what sort of stories can we construct around this landmark? The landmark being Union Station in Dark Zone East, for example. What could happen there? What could happen in this area in Dark Zone South, next to the wharf, the coastline of the river? What sort of stories could we tell that match the architecture that we're featuring? Lots of interiors, these big government buildings. You know, if you've ever walked around DC, this is a city that is built to exude the power of government, to tell you, okay, this is a place of power.
Cześć, Sikor, witam Cię. Wiesz co, szary rogue to będzie taki rogue, którego właśnie sobie wrzucasz, ale nikogo nie mordujesz, nic się nie dzieje i wtedy to jest szary rogue. Teraz rogue'a w części drugiej, nie teraz, będziemy mogli dostać również za podniesienie leżących w strefie rzeczy, które nie należą do nas.
Go ahead, please. Cut me off. Do you know who I am? Jeez.
Oh, I'm not supposed to bump the table.
No,
Typical.
You're crossing all the lines, man.
Community.
So,
people.
as I was saying, it's if I'm talking too much, just tell me.
No. I just wanted to point out to people that we will be actually showing gameplay from Georgetown later on, so you'll actually get to see what.
Dokładnie, tam jeżeli możecie, to wspomagajcie mnie, bo oni za szybko mówią jak na mój angielski, więc no przepraszam, ja tak...
But Georgetown, much lower buildings. You know, it's almost European feel. Very different buildings, so every building feels very different. Tight corners, canals. It has a very European feel to it. So imagine a dark zone covered in this mysterious yellow powder, DC-62, and exploring that. And narrative is super important. And we know that we have a type of player like me who is a little bit intimidated by the dark zone.
I'm just a tiny
just a
tiny bit intimidated by this.
tiny bit intimidated. But there are stories, there's gameplay, there's landmarks, there's things to discover lore-wise, collectible-wise, and we have introduction missions where we're going to send you into each of the dark zones sequentially. You hit a level cap, you get an introduction mission. They're not mandatory. You don't have to do it if you don't want to do it. It's an activity that's always going to be there for you, though.
Yeah.
And those introduction missions introduce you to what created those dark zones, what makes them unique, what makes them stand out. I could tell you the stories, but I want to keep that for players to discover as well.
Yeah, but and they're also a great introduction to kind of the key ingredients, extraction, acquiring gear that you need to get out of the auction through extraction. So it's a nice soft ramp up to.
Oj, będzie, Kulfon. Witam. Dzień dobry po raz drugi dzisiaj. No będzie na pewno.
That's the thing.
So-
Sorry.
No.
Please.
Julian, after
Please.
you.
After you. No, please.
After you. I was just going to say we from the gameplay that we're showing right now, we're not doing the introductory missions. We just jumped straight into Dark Souls.
To, co widzimy, to jest prawdopodobnie to podnoszenie rangi, tak? Hakowanie, bieganie od tego terminala SHD do terminala SHD po to, żeby podnieść sobie nagrody, tak? Bo oni na razie biegają, hakują terminale, a rogue im nie spada, także. Ale podobno właśnie za to będą lepsze nagrody.
No, but what I do love is talking passionately about the game. And here I forgot completely to say that it was an atypical PvP space, which, we're assuming people know, but not everybody knows that. So that's where the intimidation comes too. It's not only that there are enemies that are super tough in the dark zone, it's also other players. And for me, the most intimidating part has always been other players. And one of our focuses on this game, Division 2, has been how can we make the dark zone into a fairer place, a fairer playing field, a deeper playing field as well. And we've got a lot of design elements and rules and loops there that really are conducive to guiding players who are maybe a little bit intimidated, but want that risk-reward challenge, want that intensity into the dark zone, which is, a fair space of the map when you think about it. So dedicating all of that space only to, the most hardcore of the hardcore wasn't exactly what we wanted to do. But we have something for them too.
We have something for them as well. Let's take a look at the gameplay here, because for the loop that you were talking about, so there's been changes made to the rogue mechanics. We should maybe say that the rogue kind of concept has expanded a little bit in the Division 2. So I'm not sure where you are now, but if you could go rogue at some point, I'm going to talk a little bit about that.
It looks that we're looking at this quite tiny screen.
They are actually on the rogue loop already. They have gone rogue. They've started to do the rogue activities. We're seeing a terminal here. So tell us a little about the new rogue. What are they actually doing?
Well, right here, what you saw there, that they were interacting with a shade terminal in the dark zone, but it needs a little bit of setup. So first of all, for people who don't know at all, rogue was, getting a skull above your head. This is in the original, when we released the Division 1, saying this player has killed another player, and it's now, fair game to take this player out without consequence, but that player stands.
Dobre, Sikor, dobre. Dzięki, Gregor, za pomoc. Dziękuję serdecznie. Doceniam, naprawdę doceniam. No masz rację, Sikor. Okej, zamykam się, żebyśmy słyszeli komentatorów.
And we wanted to extend that experience towards something a little less intimidating maybe than engaging with another player in full-on PvP, where things like opportunism, greed,
selfishness.
Yeah, you could say even selfishness can also be, the entry point into the rogue loop. So that's what we call rogue action. So things like deciding to take an entire supply drop for yourself instead of sharing it will flag your rogue and set you on into this little journey, which is what they're doing here, I think. Yes.
Yes, they've actually already gone through the whole thing. They've unlocked the Thieves' Net, which we'll touch upon in a couple of minutes. But
right, so
as we said, anything can happen. So they've been playing and we've been talking. So
For sure.
but yeah, so in the middle of the rogue loop, they're doing these. They're grabbing the terminals, grabbing chests.
Yes, so from here on, of course, they can continue to escalate this into actually killing other players and you know, enter that experience. But it's also what this does is it enables players who maybe want to completely try to avoid engagement with other players to have a full loop. So once you enter this state, they're going to these terminals and they're basically triangulating the location of a number of hidden, we call thief dens. It's almost like a rogue safe house that you will be able to then get to if you manage to survive. For some reward, there's going to be a vendor in there selling some unique stuff, and it also marks the end of that.
Może ta część gry
So-
jeszcze jest niegotowa,
This-
dlatego
this-
nie pokazują.
And this thieves
Right now.
den is very different from the Shade safe house that's also located
Right.
in the Dark Zone. So
You can find these in sewers. You can find them in.
different entry points. It's always going to be a surprise because you have to triangulate their location. So we don't want everybody sort of aiming for the same location every time. So there's a randomization there. So we're using different locations within the map. Manhole covers, for example, entryways, doors, as potentially the entrance into the thieves' den.
And also exiting, like little tricks to make sure that, okay, but you might think that like what stops other players from just waiting outside the door. On exit, you will emerge somewhere else.
Yeah. So one of the things we didn't talk about, and I know that people are curious about, the VoIP rules. So we're getting a lot of questions on those.
Yeah.
But what I would love is for you to ask the Red Storm team about that, so it clears it up for everybody.
Yeah, there's
a little bit later.
been a whole bunch of questions exactly what we're doing with VoIP. So
Yep,
we're
and
going
it,
to bug Redstorm about it.
and
as
it's
well.
complex. But the idea
Very
there
complex.
is that we want to reduce the toxicity. Again, it's this single-minded nature of trying to make the Dark Zone a fairer, more fun place to be in, despite, you know, the added intensity of being in a location where anything can happen. It's a PvP-enabled space. But we're also going to normalize the regular Dark Zones. And again, normalization, don't be scared of it. Red Storm's going to jump in and explain exactly what they have in mind. Your build still matters. Your build choices still matter. What you're using, your equipment, your gear still matters. It just levels the playing field for everybody. So it makes it more skill focused than anything else.
Yeah.
Still not a good idea for me to engage in PvP, but it creates that level playing field.
But actually, that brings up a good question compared to, or also related to kind of what they're doing right now.
Mhm.
We're talking about being scared of going into the Dark Zone. I mean, our viewers have been making fun of me for a long time for mainly doing PvE because
Okay.
I'm scared. What does this bring for a PvE player? Because I felt that the first time I played this build and I was running around doing these rogue actions, and I knew there were other employees out there hunting for it, I felt as PvE player, this is something that I want to do. This is something that I want to experience. I can see myself going into the Dark Zone much more now than I could in the first game because I'm scared. And
Well, do you want to jump in on that?
Sure. It's, I mean, like any well-crafted experience, there's this tapestry of features and rule set and design decision that create that result, right? So I think there are many things contributing to why it's a more PvE-only friendly experience. One of them being what I just described with that road loop where you can get the thrill of other players being present, almost seeing them like the ultimate enemies of the Dark Zone, but you don't have to engage with them to get that enjoyment. And other things like uncontaminated loot, which I think is
I was
very
just
very
about
very,
that, the
very important
rewards you
ingredient.
get.
Yeah, where really the I would say the most distilled moment of tension and excitement in the Dark Zone is when you found something that you really really want and you have to extract it. Shooting that flare, you're visible to everyone. People know there's an extraction going on. I have to be in this place for this amount of time to successfully get my stuff. We don't want to screw with that. So that's of course still in the game. I'll get to that in a little bit.
yeah, I'm not sure
But-
if they're heading to an
yeah.
extraction or what's actually going on. They're not.
They're not.
So
but
far, live gameplay,
I'm sure
everybody.
we'll see it in a bit. But what we've done is that we've added loot into the Dark Zone that goes direct to inventory.
Mhm.
And this is also to make it a slightly more predictably rewarding experience for the time that you invest.
Mhm.
But it also means that you don't necessarily have to expose yourself through an extraction, which is very exposing, right, to other
Right.
players.
Yeah.
But the contaminated loot, however,
That,
of course,
yeah, I was
you know,
about to say the flip side
Yeah.
of having access to non-contaminated loot is that the contaminated loot that you get, we're going to strive to make that even more relevant to you.
Right.
So behind the scenes, what we do is that yellow bag, once you get one, you don't know what's in there. You have to extract it to know what it's going to be. And we can predictably roll behind the scenes something that's going to be more useful for you. So that's a huge deal. So that means that when you see a yellow bag, when you see some piece of contaminated loot, that's going to be worth extracting. So that creates that, real desire to, okay, this is going to be predictably better than anything else.
Right. But I can still feel, because that's a fear now going in. I only have my contaminated loot, but now I always get rewarded anyway, in a sense.
Yeah.
As long as I pulled something off inside the dark.
Your time is always going to be rewarded.
Yep.
You're always going to get a non-contaminated loot
Right.
for playing in the DZ.
All right, so I'm being told we're actually going to jump over to Dark Zone West any minute, but first we're going to just take a short break. We're going to run the Dark Zone trailer for you while we set up Dark Zone West. and
So
will
we're
be-
not taking a break. We're showing a trailer.
We're
and
showing a trailer.
When we
We're
come back.
We're taking a break.
All right.
Julian gets to take a break,
All right. Thank you.
and we'll be back very, very soon.
Cool.
I co sądzicie? Jak myślicie? No tak, właśnie zaraz pokażą zachodniej, tak jak napisał numer 1 na czacie. Ja dziękuję za komentarze. Nie chciałem gadaniem swoim też zagłuszać deweloperów. Co sądzicie? No jak wam się to podoba? No właśnie, no nic nowego. Wszystko to, co już zostało pokazane, powiedziane, no ale
where anything can happen and no one can be trusted. Agents will now be able to access 3 different dark zones, each with its own distinct
to jest
environment,
fajne. Fajne jest też,
landmarks,
Gregory,
and
wiesz to,
and with up to 12 players
fajne jest też to, że co mówiłeś, że będziesz mógł skrzynię otworzyć dla wszystkich, a będziesz mógł tylko dla siebie, tak? Także
every time they play.
naprawdę chyba nam się, słuchajcie, szykuje. No, ja wiem, że wszyscy zebrani tutaj, no, jesteśmy fanami The Division, tak? I czekamy z niecierpliwością na część drugą, ale słuchajcie, no naprawdę chyba szykuje się nam porządny tytuł, porządna gra.
Agents can obtain equipment by clearing landmarks, taking down
Tak, no właśnie a propos tego, bo widzicie, no ja powinienem sobie też część rzeczy notować. Część rzeczy z DZ-u gdzieś tam czytałem, czy słyszałem u kogoś, bo nie pamiętam już w tej chwili. Ma lądować bezpośrednio w plecaku, tak?
crates. Steal other agents' contaminated gear before
R1 bardzo trafnie pewnie, no bo to jest w końcu, kurczę, no to jest, wiesz, to jest coś, na co czekaliśmy w jedynce i czego się nie doczekaliśmy.
There are now 3 different rogue statuses that present players with a variety
Oby Kulfon, życzę tobie, wszystkim innym graczom konsolowym i sobie również, bo to jest
are an experience where players
To jest coś, czego nie powinno być w tej grze od samego początku.
They are normalized environments where all players have the chance to succeed. Automated turrets guard the entry point from predatory rogue agents.
Jak zwykle R1 w punkt.
This gives players the freedom to engage in their very own playstyle without being overpowered by veteran agents.
Gregory, pytanie tylko, czy oni mówią o tym antycicie co do wersji PC-towej, czy też mówią co do konsol, bo z tego co wiem, to nowy Nacon, czyli Nacon 2 i nowy Razer, już z nimi podobno Kronus nie działa, tak?
Conflict, our organized PvP experience for the Division Division 2 will also be
No z tego co widzę, to Fiolka, R1, od ziomek to są pecety, z tego, bo to pamiętam, bo to są moi widzowie, znaczy wszyscy jesteście moimi widzami, ale no ich pamiętam najczęściej, ponieważ rozmawiają u mnie ze mną na streamach. Gregory, konsola, bo gramy razem, Kulfon, no widzę konsola, ja konsola, także Sikor konsola, Monika konsola. Monika pewnie też będzie grała w dwójkę.
zone to the opposing team, using your skills and agent toolbox wisely. In skirmish, each team aims at reducing the opposing team reinforcement to 0. This mode
Oby sikoroby, wiesz, ale no...
communication is the key to victory.
Pamiętajcie, ja nie chcę nikogo pouczać, ale ja to wychodzę jako informatyk, mówię tak, nad zabezpieczeniami gry pracuje 100, 150, 200 osób. To już nie wiem, czy w tej chwili nie powiedziałem jakiejś w ogóle, wiecie, liczby, która jest z kosmosu. A nad złamaniem tych zabezpieczeń pracuje 1/4 graczy, którzy się zalogowali do gry. W przypadku The Division 1 według tego, co podali deweloperowie, 20 milionów, czyli 1/4, 5 milionów. Już się zamykam, robię głośniej, oglądamy.
Game development magic in the background moved everybody from Dark Zone South to Dark Zone West. We're going to jump into that real quick. I just want to point out as well that after we're done here, after we've talked to you guys and we've called up Red Storm, then we're going to do some live gameplay for another hour. So stick around. Me and Hamish are going to be playing some Dark Zone and PvP.
Fantastic.
So just
Where
little
about?
teaser. Huh?
Which Dark Zone?
I do not know yet.
Okay.
One of the Dark Zones to be decided. Speaking of, we talked about going rogue now, and as you said in the first game, kind of going rogue entails everything. It entails cutting the rope, for example, and it entails killing other players. And of course, as implied by our discussions, that's still something you can do in the Dark Zone,
Of course.
Or the Dark Zones, obviously. So how does that work in the Division 2? Like you go rogue, you steal stuff, and then you go disavowed.
Yeah, so I think I just want to make it really clear that don't think about this as different, disconnected experiences.
No.
It's really about one long
A
gradient
spectrum,
where you chose where to come in and how far to go. So we already covered the greed stealing part of going rogue, but disavowed is what we call the act of actually killing another player now. So that's when you get flagged in a different way. It's clear to everyone like this player's now taken a life.
Yep.
And
I'm really hoping
Yeah.
on the gameplay here that they will find another team and hunt them down
they should.
or get wrecked. I don't mind either way. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, but and then of course that is, if you want to, the beginning of a journey all the way up to triggering Manhunt,
Right.
Where Golden Skull, that's not going to time out, right? So this very similar to the first game. Clearing Manhunt status is a matter of going to these terminals, right? But what we added now in Division 2 is the ability to, once you get to one, because you're going to have 3 active, choose to elevate your status even further, reducing your way out, so to say, to now 2. And then you can do that again and have 1 left, which is really about giving players more tools who like that experience to kind of tailor it to how much risk reward do I want? How much do I think we can handle?
No i tak jak właśnie Gregory pisze wam na czacie, 2 opcje
And
przy
what we're
zrzucie.
seeing here, I mean, we're just by a canal.
Oh, yeah, let's
one of
take
the
a look at that
canals
canal.
of the Dark Zone, and you'll notice that Georgetown, Dark Zone West, is the location where, and I'm not giving away too much, but this is where the DC-62, the yellow powder, was sprayed to try and contain the virus, to try and neutralize the effects of the virus. Didn't work out. Within the context of what was happening at the time, it turned out that this was ultra toxic. So you're going in, this is a dangerous place. There's lots and lots of stuff. It's absolutely gorgeous. There are so many things to discover here. And as you can see, it looks so different
Such
from
a
the rest of the map.
This is such a serene scene as well until you start looking at the details. That's when it can agree.
Yeah. The bodies in the water, that type of thing. But we're not here to do
We're not here to talk
sightseeing
about- yeah, we're not here to talk
either.
about decoration.
I mean, if you can go manhunt, that's great, because it is a loop that is super risk reward focused, and we do know that a lot of players love that loop. So this allows them to keep chaining those timers and to get as much from it as possible.
Sorry?
No.
I thought you were going to say something.
Just so polite.
Excuse me.
Connected though to the Dark Zone experience and the Dark Zone progression are new. Speaking of risk reward,
Yeah.
and gaining something that you might actually lose later on, the Dark Zone perks.
Yep. Now the Dark Zone perks, something that I think is awesome, and you're going to get perks based on your levels, which is what we're calling ranks for the Division 2, and we have 50 levels. Straight away, you're going to get some great perks. I think it's level 1, you get to carry 1 extra item for extraction. But then it goes to things that are so cool, like lowering the extraction timer. So
That's
these
huge.
things,
That's
you're
huge.
not going to want to lose these perks. So you're going to want to defend your Dark Zone level as much as possible. So again, it's little things like this that increase the depth of what we're proposing to all types of players in the Dark Zone. And that extends to one of the things that I know that Terry is so passionate about, which are the occupied Dark Zones.
Right.
Matthias, do you want to take us through what occupied Dark Zones are?
And we're gonna wrap everything up because we're running out of time because we're really good at talking.
All right.
But we're gonna tease because there is something for you were talking about the people who really enjoys the manhunt loops.
Yep.
There usually are very hardcore players.
Yeah.
We do have something special planned for them as well.
Yeah, and it's really, the dev team, we're very excited about the original, very raw, vanilla Dark Zone that we launched with.
Friendly fire.
And we know that there's a sizable part of the Division community that love that experience. So this is yet another thing that we can do, given the fact that we have more than one. We have 3 Dark Zones. So any given time in endgame, one of them will be what we call occupied. And what that means is really that there's always going to be a place for players to go and have that original experience, meaning no normalization, friendly fire is always on. And
No wiecie, z levelem i z perkami to jest akurat, uważam, sprawiedliwe, tak?
If you like that experience of complete ambiguity, but also it's not just my...
No Sikor, no niestety takie życie, wszyscy mamy, wiesz, tego świadomość, nie?
That's the place to go. And the cool thing with 3 is that this will rotate on a certain schedule. So it's not like, oh, if I want to play occupied, I'm stuck with playing only South, for example. Like it will change so that you really get to experience all 3, no matter what is your primary preference.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And for me personally, staying the hell out of that.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you.
Been fantastic. We could obviously talk about the Dark Zone for a long time, but we need to cut it. I think our producers back there are going crazy from talking. So we're gonna leave it there. But again, thank you very much. I hope to see you guys back on State of the Game. That is coming back. State of the Game is coming back. Don't worry about it. And I'll drag these guys in.
Cool.
Don't worry.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it.
So we're not actually going to take a break. So during the alpha, we had an alpha forum for the players who were playing that under NDA and everything, as you probably know. But we took the opportunity to start a thread there where people could ask questions about things like server infrastructure and anti-cheat. So we put together a short video with a couple of those questions. So take a look at that, and then after that, we will be back with Redstorm to talk about PvP. So we will see you then.
Hi, my name is Jan Harrison. I'm a senior online infrastructure engineer with The Division, and I do back-end and infrastructure.
Czyli co, teraz rozmawiamy o PvP, tak? Popatrzyliśmy sobie na DZ-a, za chwilę PvP. Sikor, myślę, że gra jest w takiej fazie, że już w tej chwili te pokazy to są z tego, na czym będziemy grali, wiesz, to myślę, że tutaj bym się za mocno nie stresował tym, czy ona będzie wyglądała tak, a nie inaczej. Bardziej boję się tego, że pokazują, jak widzieliście, jak podchodzili do słupów, widzieliście spację, czyli grali na PC-tach. Bardziej boję się tego, że na PC-cie może inaczej. Na konsoli nigdy gra nie będzie wyglądała tak jak na PC-cie, na najwyższych obrotach i na najwyższych wymaganiach, tak? Także tu bym się, wiesz, Przemek, nie przejmował za bardzo tym, że wiesz, że ona będzie wyglądała inaczej, bo chyba to już nie ten czas. Dostali nauczkę przy jedynce, wyciągnęli wnioski i myślę, że będzie dobrze. Ja też jestem w tej grze zakochany, o czym świadczy moje 3 lata siedzenia w tej grze, streamowania jej cały czas i grania w nią, także no myślę, że naprawdę nie będzie tak źle.
Yes, it's always been proactive. We had the banhammers every week and we have the offline data and
Kulfon, oczywiście, to jest, wiesz, to nie ma dyskusji nad tym w ogóle żadnej, nie? PC zawsze wygra z konsolą, bo wiesz, no. Sikor, co do przetrwania, nie martw się, ustaw sobie tylko dzień, zrobimy. Naprawdę nie ma najmniejszego problemu.
So because of our scalable infrastructure, hopefully that would not happen. We have enough capacity in each region to be able to accommodate like almost the entire player base of Division 2 that we expect. But if you have a friend who is in US West and you're in Asia, then obviously one of you is going to have to make a compromise, and we will decide that for you.
we're gonna be transparent with the tick rates when the game releases. And right now we are testing on target hardware for the servers, so we are figuring things out. There can be like slight changes. We have done a lot of optimizations on the server side as well to support all the player simulation and everything around it. So we're gonna communicate that.
So there's going to be dedicated server infrastructure. Everyone will connect to a server, and the server will handle a lot of things, especially artificial intelligence and positioning in the game. Right? It's the server that's authoritative.
We have addressed a lot of the player replication issues from the first game, the infamous chicken dance and the running in place bug. And this is all thanks to all the improvements and fixes that we did in the locomotion system and new animations and new animation systems.
Yes, we're planning on having coverage in South America, North America, Europe, Asia, Oceania, around...
Widzicie to co ja? Dedykowane serwery. To jest coś, to jest to, czego zabrakło w Division.
You can instead donate to charity
W Division, w części pierwszej.
You're gonna be banned for sure.
Welcome back to the special report for Dark Zones and PvP. I'm supposed to have the guys from Red Storm in my ear. Are they? Hello?
Hello.
Whoa.
Hello. Hello.
Whoa. That was louder than I expected. How are you doing? Are we gonna
Very
get you
good.
on
How are
screen?
you?
Are we gonna get? Oh, there we go. Hi Terry.
Hi.
Hi Keith. How are you?
Nice to see you, buddy.
So for we always do this, but for the people who've never met you guys before, can you please introduce yourselves? Is there a lag on this?
Hang on.
Oh,
I'm pausing.
live TV, everybody.
We got it.
We got it. All right. So, can you introduce yourself, guys?
Sure. Should I go again?
Do it.
All right. My name's Terry Spear. I'm the creative director here at Red Storm.
And I'm Keith Evans. I'm the lead game designer here at Red Storm.
So we were talking briefly before with Julian and Matthias about your involvement in the Dark Zone and PvP, which is extensive. So can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing on the game itself?
Sure. As the creative director, I helped assign the vision. I work with Julian and Matthias and the other directors to make sure it all goes into a place that we're comfortable with.
Yeah, and I work with our game design team here and the level designers and just kind of getting all the details of what's going to go into the new game and then working hand in hand with Massive.
I really love how I have you guys on the screen here. Can we just
I know.
Can we just take a second to just appreciate the fact that we have you on the wall?
I wish we were there with
You have
you.
no idea. You have no idea how much time Ella and Hamish put into making that work. So anyway, I just want to give them some credit here on the stream.
It's like we can almost hug you.
They can almost.
almost.
Yeah, that'd be really nice. Terry hugs are nice. Anyway, let's move on. So you guys have been very, very involved, of course, with the PvP in the Division 1 as well. But when you sat down for the first time and kind of, okay, what's our philosophy? What's our goals moving for PvP in the Division 2? What was your first thoughts?
Good question. The first thought was fairness. I'd say that probably the second thought that came out right after that was inclusion. We want more people to play PvP in the Division 2.
Yeah, I think we made a lot of strides, throughout post-launch in the first game, taking a lot of those learnings and really pushing fairness and a place for everyone to PvP.
So we're actually going to jump in. We're going to have we have live gameplay running in the background here, actually. We're going to see if we can jump in and just put that on screen while people are shooting each other in the face. They have a problem. They'll fix it. We'll just keep talking. So fairness, that's another topic that we discussed with Julian and Matthias before. And one big thing there, one of the pillars is normalization. So we had it, or we have it in the first game, in Last Stand, and in the skirmish PvP modes. But what is exactly normalization, and how do you approach it in the Division 2?
Yeah, that's a big topic.
Yeah.
Normalization was it was very important for us with fairness and inclusion as two of the big pillars for PvP, and it was something we knew we needed to include because although we're an RPG, we also want players to be able to participate in gun battles, that they feel are fair. And when you have a game with such stat diversity like we do, it was sort of a
it's a
no-brainer.
It's a super important layer. But I think what you pointed out, right? We had the concept of normalization in the first game, but that's the key thing. Is normalization is just an idea, and you can apply it in all sorts of different ways. So we've completely redone.
Może będą kogoś krępować,
game to work with all the improvements to the RPG that are in the Division 2.
Mamy dominację.
Yep. Let's not go deeper into that at the moment, but we can say that it applies to everything. It applies not only to the organized PvP modes, but also outside of the occupied dark zones, applied to the dark zone as well.
And that was super cool for us to be able to have the occupied dark zones, a place where we can say, in contrast to the normal dark zones and organized PvP, okay, here you go. You have your full statistical advantage that you've spent a lot of time working on. Go have fun together. Go play with each other, shoot each other.
Yeah, and then that core idea of normalization this time is, we're not just pushing everyone to the exact same power level. We're taking your build and making it still really matter, but we're kind of getting rid of those really high peaks of damage output and those really high sustainability builds and pulling everyone a little bit more in focus.
I think it's important to note too that there are a lot of details to this normalization plan that we haven't discussed yet, but just imagine that if we're setting a bar for normalization, if you're under that bar, we help you move up to the bar. And if you're over that bar, players that are over that normalization standards position, you're going to receive some statistical bonuses for being over. And they're not huge advantages, but they are in fact advantages.
And they make your time and your build and your choices still matter, right? Still be felt.
Yeah, and
I think one thing I think you should talk about, Keith, is the fact that this normalization allows us to keep PvP and PvE separate.
Yeah, I think that's one of the core
that-
things. Is normalization isn't just changing the stats blanketly on your gear. It's going in and doing talent overrides just for normalized play, or skill adjustments just for normalized play, with the idea of keeping PvP in balance but never affecting the PvE game. We want to give you all that power in PvE.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, so I'm sorry, we're having, this live gameplay thing I talked about before. One of the computers crashed. But they're bringing it back. They're bringing it back. Guys, kind of calm down. Everything is okay.
Thanks, Obama.
You guys are still there, so I'm happy with that. So one thing that I'm kind of bringing in like topics that we talked about before, which we thought we should talk to Redstorm about these things, and one of them is the VoIP questions people have been having, because they announced that last week we were discussing the changes being made to VoIP, and can you just explain a little bit what we're doing in that field?
Sure.
The thing is that I realized I have this on the table just now.
Tape?
So it's tape, yeah. So I got all confused. You go on.
So for VoIP, actually, we're very engaged in the conversation right now. We know there's an active discussion in the community. We're paying attention to all those conversations.
R1, czyżby cię usłyszeli?
Have the conversations now. We'd like people to play it.
Lub przeczytali, no bardziej by to było takie.
And really get their hands on it and feel it. And then once that happens, we're very open to making changes and adjustments so the community is happy. The point is, okay, how can we help curb some of that toxicity that we had in the original game?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like what you said before. It's about the inclusiveness of the experience and getting more people to come in, giving you all the tools of the last game, and stripping out some of the toxicity.
Yeah, we're very aware that there's a lot of great relationships that happen in the Dark Zone, especially that ad hoc stuff. You didn't expect to meet a person, and then you had some great teamwork. We don't want to take that away at all. That's part of the very unique nature of the Dark Zone that all of us identify as very important. Yeah. But we also want to try and steer our players away from the feeling that it's a bully community, and how can we help people feel more comfortable, without taking away some of the magic. So it's an iterative process. Like always, we're going to pay attention to how the community feels and how we feel, and move from there.
Right. So I see the gameplay computer from here. It's up and running. Frederick is back in the match, I believe. I just want to point out that I got a weird echo there. The organized PvP modes in the Division 2 are 4 versus 4. I don't think we have everyone in the match. So if you don't see all the names there, that's because technical reasons. So, but it's 4v4.
Flat TV, baby.
That's right.
Let's talk though about the two different modes that the game is launching with. It's skirmish, we know, slightly from the first game, and of course domination. But let's talk about skirmish first. It's a classic making its return, but there's been tweaks to the formula.
Yeah, absolutely. There have been. I think maybe skirmish by name is about the only thing we took. The design team and Keith worked hard to sort of reimagine what skirmish was.
Yeah, and there were a couple goals that we had in mind, right? And the main one is we wanted to make it a more team-based tactical experience, but still obviously at its core, team deathmatch. So this time, instead of just trying to rack up kills as fast as possible, you have a set number of respawns, and you're trying to deplete the other team's respawns. And just that little mental shift makes you hang back, fight more as a team, makes you care more about each death. And it allowed us to do something that I think is really exciting, which is once the respawns are depleted, it kicks you into a team elimination phase. And it has this feeling of you're never completely out of the fight, right? You might be all the way down into the elimination phase. It's just you and one buddy. And, if you can stage a comeback from that point and deplete all the other team's respawns, get those final eliminations and still win. It just feels a lot more like we have exciting comebacks and really tactical team-based play.
Yeah, you're not just moving towards a frag count.
Yeah.
And we put a lot of work into the spectator cam. The team crushed it, and there's a real fun element to getting into that sort of elimination mode where you get to watch your teammates and see them really shine
and see them rally.
Yeah.
Yep.
One thing we had in Last Stand, for example, in the first games are the boosts that are available to you scattered throughout the map. Can you tell us a little bit about those and how they work?
Yeah, go for it, Keith.
Yeah, so the idea is across the whole.
No będziemy musieli się uzbroić, wiesz, R1 w cierpliwość i tak dalej, no bo no niestety jako ci pierwsi gracze, którzy zagrają już w dniu premiery, a nawet 3 dni przed premierą, no będziemy po części jeszcze gdzieś tam beta testerami, a nie serwerami, przepraszam za moje przejęzyczenie.
Team deathmatch, it might give you extra armor for a little bit across your whole team. And it's just these little ways to augment the fight, make it honestly just kind of ups the excitement level. You can be, maybe behind by a little bit, get one of these boosts and pull yourself back into the fight.
They're tertiary objectives. It's meant to just supplement the main gameplay loops that are happening, but they're on the sides. You know, you might have an active boost, you can pick it up and help your team.
So we're actually jumping over right now to the second organized PvP mode that will be available at launch of the Division 2, Domination. So can you tell us a little bit about that as we get the match up and running?
You bet, Dom. I mean, I personally love Domination.
Is that what we call it, Dom?
Well, I mean, come on.
I'm just making sure I'm down with the lingo.
Yeah, you're down with the lingo. The goal with Conflict as a PvP destination was to give players modes that they're very comfortable with, modes that don't take a lot of overhead understanding.
Yeah.
And Dom, as a game mode where you have to capture objectives, creates that just little nugget of tactics. You get to play some defense, and it was something we all wanted to include.
Yeah, and I think it was also a mode that we could do a cool Division take on, right? So our capture points aren't just there in the match. You actually, see them airdrop into the space at the very beginning. You have this little period where the objectives aren't active. Maybe you fight over B for just 15, 20 seconds and try to clear out the other team.
Sorry, I saw Terry was
Terry is
there's too much liquid in that mug, Terry. It's dangerous for you, obviously.
Went the wrong spot. I was trying to get him to mute my mic so I didn't cough in everyone's ear.
All right, then I'll try to ask Keith instead. So one thing we really didn't touch on before is one big endgame feature in the Division 2, of course, being the specializations and how they come into play in PvP. So, for example, how you get specialization ammo, etc. For
So the specializations are obviously it's a huge new part of the whole PvP or RPG progression that comes in at endgame. And we know they're super powerful. They're meant to be really powerful, and we didn't want to take those away from you in PvP. We want to give you moments to use them, but we've changed the way that you get that special ammo and made it kind of a real tactical component that's integrated straight into the Conflict game mode.
We didn't want people just to come in with their specs and just crush. We didn't want PvP to be just about, okay, what's the best specialization weapon? I'm just going to use that the whole time.
Yeah. So you'll start the match. You'll have your specialization weapon on your back once you're at level 30. You can even see what specializations are equipped on the opposing team and on your team up at the top of the screen. So you can kind of plan what might happen in the battle. But you're only going to get that specialization ammo a few key times in the match, and it will actually airdrop in like a supply drop from the Dark Zone. And both teams can fight over control of that. The winning team gets a little bit of specialization ammo for their whole squad. But the really interesting part is if you can get in there and wipe out the other team, they drop any specialization ammo they had, and your team can try to take it back, kind of swing the fight.
One thing you also had the opportunity to do when you sat down and started working on the PvP for the second game was, if we look at the first game, if we look at Skirmish, those maps are actually taken from parts of the world. But here you had a chance to start from scratch. You were able to build custom map from the ground up.
Yeah, the PvP experience as a starting pillar, included from the get-go. How do you make the best PvP experience? Well, it starts with the maps. And we knew that this was the perfect time for us to get the LDs and the LAs and the level designers and the level artists in there and make real PvP maps for the first time in the division.
Yeah, there's no nothing here where you're kind of serving two very different types of gameplay, right? So every decision that's made from the level design standpoint is all about what's going to create fair tactical PvP, and it allows us to explore some spaces that aren't inside the rest of the DC space.
Yeah, they're beautiful. We can see my favorite in the background, and just because I said that out loud, I forgot the name of it, but it's beautiful.
Capital Ruins.
Capital
It's
Ruins,
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that's inspired by a real location in DC, you know, where you can go and there's, you know, pieces of the old White House that were sort of discarded in a park. I don't remember the name of the park offhand, but it's all there and it's surrounded by vegetation and it was a perfect place for a map.
Yeah, something so distinct, you know, from the rest of the Dark Zone and other places you're going to be PvPing.
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful. So
thanks, bud.
One thing also coming from the first game is one concept that's been a big part of the discussions around the first game is time to kill.
Mm-hmm.
And how does that differ in because fights in the first game can get quite long. So how does that work in the second game? How did you approach that?
Well, as a high level experience, Keith can go into some of the details, but we wanted players to be able to, I'm going to just say a term we used here, wanted players to be able to outmap each other.
Yeah.
So flanking and, you know, map tactics and team tactics, we wanted it to matter. So often, you know, it was common in the Dark Zone and in some of the later skirmish maps to, you know, successfully flank a person, and then because of the mechanics we used, maybe the kill didn't happen as you had anticipated. And now with kill times, how they're currently being set, you can absolutely get the jump on someone and get the kill.
Yeah, there's just because of like the core changes to the feel of combat across the entire Division 2 experience, there were just so many little changes that improved PvP overall. So I think gunplay feels really awesome. It's has a real impact to it, and the time to kill damage is just higher in general. A lot of the just healing in general is so reworked from the first game. So there's no instant pop heals. There's no, I was almost dead, but then I popped an instant heal and I'm right back in the fight, right? Healing is always over time, and you really have to get safe and get in cover to successfully pull off those kind of clutch heal moments. And it lets the fights actually resolve. And it feels really good.
Yeah, there's no doubt that PvP, well, of course, you can run up and try to face tank.
Sure.
And this is an RPG, and there are skills.
And there are shotguns. You don't want to get in there.
Yeah. But you better use cover. And it's pretty deadly, and it's very exciting to play. You want to talk about a rush. Every time we play test, there's always some extraordinary moments where somebody pulls off an like, especially in Georgetown. Anyway, I'm sorry, going off on a tangent. It feels really good to have kill times that we do and have it be able to mix and mash with, you know, what we consider division, you know, skills and stuff like that. It feels really good.
Yeah, I don't think we would have been able to pull off really this very focused domination experience as well as we have with the first game's mechanics. I think getting in there and actually being in cover and really being scared about people encroaching your space, it just makes it feel so much better.
You know what I want to talk about real quick? Sorry, tangent. I want to talk about the domination points and the passive and active stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go. You should talk. You're smarter than me. Go.
That's not true. Yeah, so, you know, the idea, you know, domination, I think everyone kind of understands how it works. And we have a lot of those tried and true mechanics, right? You get inside the zone, the more people you have inside the zone, you're going to capture faster, you can overtake the other team. But there's another component to capturing objectives in this game, which I think is really interesting. And it's this active capture. So you can, you know, rush into the middle and actually interact on the crate, and you can steal it much faster and kind of...
O, i wyglądają. Drony mogą mieć moc.
So you can try to sneak in, or maybe you've cleared out the other team and you want to capture it really quick before they get back into the fight. And it adds this other layer of decision making that I think really kind of elevates this version of domination.
Yeah, it feels really good to be able to have choice with the domination point and how you want to approach it as a team. You want to sit back, take cover, you know, go passive. You want to cover a man who's going to run in and try to actively capture it. Of course, you're exposed when you're actively capturing.
And you get these hero moments, right? Like A lot of the time, it's 2 teams of 4 clashing on B, and your whole team gets wiped out. You get the final kill, and you have 5 seconds before you know the other team is going to start edging back in on you.
Yeah.
And you're talking over comms, and you get that capture, and it feels awesome.
Yeah, that's another thing. You're talking about respawns. Something we've changed from the first game is
You're just
use
taking
a
points from my
wave
lists here now, Terry.
sorry, buddy.
No.
Wave spawning.
Let's
We're too
pretend I asked that
excited.
question. Let's talk about respawns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go. Wave spawning, go.
Well, just wave spawning in general, we've done a lot of things to the spawn system to try to improve it from the first game. You'll notice the wave spawn makes it, you'll die, and you might have 10, 15 seconds to wait until that next spawn wave comes in, but it lets your group kind of group back up, all come back in together, do a really focused push back into the match. And then we've also done a lot of stuff to, alleviate spawn camping and try to just make it a better overall PvP experience. So all the maps have spawn flipping integrated. So if a team pushes too far into your spawn area, or there's too many kills inside the spawn area, that'll flip. And it kind of just keeps the matches more balanced, gets rid of these really runaway, 10-2 sort of matches.
Yep.
And speaking of keeping those fights that way, it's no secret that I'm absolutely rubbish at PvP. So
No miał
when
być,
matchmaking
ale to
into
nie
PvP,
przeszło, a w części
can I expect?
drugiej będziemy
How
mieli
will the
drona i
matchmaking
jak
work?
widzicie nawet
Well, it's a skill-based matchmaking system. I know Keith is probably going to talk about this, but we're a part of the wonderful organization.
Okej, wrócę do
Widzów,
tego
and we have the
później
opportunity
może.
To really talk to a lot of other teams, how they use matchmaking and the strong parts about it, and we've integrated a lot of those learnings into the Division PvP. So, from a vision or a direction standpoint, I wanted to make sure that players always felt comfortable that they were playing against people near their skill level, and skill-based matchmaking was the obvious choice.
Yeah, and it's very different from what we did before. We've kind of focused it down so that your wins and your losses really matter, and that's going to change who you're playing with. And the goal is, after this game's out in the wild just for a little bit, you'll start getting really, really much more balanced matches.
Yep.
All right, looking forward to actually playing as people who won't kill me in 2 seconds. They probably will anyway.
They still might do that.
Yeah,
They still might do that.
he's better than he's saying. I've played PvP with him.
Yeah, he's
Being very modest.
Yeah, you're being so modest. Better.
Yeah, I think I should change that to just being happy that we'll never have to fight you guys. Because
That's right.
it'd be over.
Ella, she's the one.
Ella?
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
really
she's
good
the one.
PvP.
Yeah, she's the
Yeah.
one. She'll wreck us all. Wreck is the word you use, right? Okay, so
yeah, you sound cool.
oh, thank you. I feel much better now. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for all the hard work that you guys are doing on the Dark Zone and PvP. We will
Tak,
have
to
you
prawda,
back.
graficznie
Bring you here
tak.
to sit at our new
Myślę, że
factory
rozgrywka
and talk
i
about all the
cały
work you do on the Dark
system
Zone and on PvP. It's always
Can't wait
fantastic.
to talk
Yeah,
more
thank
about
you
it.
so much.
Yeah.
Oh, will
It's awesome.
i cały
Yeah,
system
it's really good.
budowy,
You have the
specjalizacji to
stream
też są
anytime you want.
wajlancy po
Anytime you
prostu
want.
tylko,
All right, buddy. Thank
All right.
you.
Later.
tylko
Thank you everyone for tuning
w
in to
innej
this special
odsłonie.
report about Dark Zones and PvP. We're not going away completely. We will have 3-minute break, I believe. And then 5-minute break, I'm being told now.
5 minut
And then me and
przerwy.
Hamish are going to jump in front of the computers, mess around a little bit in the Dark Zone, maybe try out some PvP. We'll see, and it'll be fun. It'll be awesome. I have a note here. Actually, I really want to. First of all, I want to thank Julia and Matthias, Keith and Terry for joining us here today to talk about the things that they are working on for the second game. But I also want to do
No tak,
a
wiesz
quick
Przemek,
shout
ja o
out to
tym,
Frederick and Astrid,
ja to
in this
mówię
room,
od
but
początku,
also to
że jak
Bruce,
tylko
Kim,
usłyszałem o tych
Jacob,
specjalizacjach,
Nikki,
że
Aaron, and Rasmus, who are in the building somewhere.
że wiesz, że zrobią, połączą Division i Wajlancy.
For joining us today and helping out and setting this stream up. So, thank you all for tuning in. We will be back in a couple of minutes with some more gameplay and can't wait to see.
To co, oglądamy dalej, tak? Bo będziemy dalej mieli jeszcze trochę gry. Oglądamy dalej, rozumiem. Nikomu się nie znudziło, lecimy dalej. w małej przerwie. Oczywiście tu sobie przyciszymy teraz i możemy pogadać, tak? Znaczy wiesz, ja cały czas to podkreślam, że no, wprowadzając specjalizację, wiesz, Wajlancy to jest tytuł, który też przyniósł im jakąś sławę, jakiś sukces, więc sobie troszeczkę z niego pożyczyli, troszeczkę pożyczyli sobie z R6, troszeczkę wzięli z Division z części pierwszej i no tak, nie było takiego budowania postaci, zgadza się. Przepraszam. Zresztą a propos dzisiaj weszły Wajlancy na Xboxach w Deals with Gold. Ja niestety nie kupię na Xboxa ich, bo mam je na PlayStation. Ale tak. Division tak, lepsze, no takie bardziej dynamiczne, prawda? Bo Wajlancy to są takie fajne, jak ktoś się lubi pokampić, gdzieś tam posiedzieć w krzakach i poczekać. A Division takie jest. Gracze Ghost Recon Wildlands śmieli się na wszelkich grupach, jak widzieli graczy, którzy przyszli z Division, bo komentowali to w ten sposób, że idzie szwadron śmierci, tak? Że lecą na oślep i strzelają. A słuchajcie, no to w Deals with Gold są Wajlancy we wszystkich wersjach i jest Division. Wersja Gold w tej chwili jest za 70 chyba 2 czy 3 złote. Zaraz możemy to... Chociaż no nie, teraz wam tego nie sprawdzę, bo rozłączyłoby mnie z Twitchem, a tego nie chcę. Są. Podstawka chyba 4 dychy, a Gold coś koło 70, między 70 a 75 zł. Wajlancy w granicach 60 zł podstawka i 100 chyba parę złotych wersja ta rozszerzona. Gregory, jeżeli grasz na PlayStation, to ja bardzo chętnie w to pogram, bo leży gra nieograna do dnia dzisiejszego, a mam ją chyba pół roku po premierze kupiłem. Także zapraszam wszystkich oglądających na nasz Discord. Discord jest klanowy, ale tworzymy tam społeczność, gdzie będziecie mogli znaleźć sobie współtowarzyszy do gry. Klan klanem, społeczność społecznością. Tworzymy miejsce, w którym ludzie będą mogli pogadać, opowiedzieć o swoich problemach. Nikt ich nie wyśmieje. Raczej nastawiamy na miejsce, w którym znajdziecie pomoc, a nie wszelkiego rodzaju drwiny i hejt. Także serdecznie zapraszamy na naszego Discorda klanowego. Jest już tam kilka osób i myślę, że panuje tam atmosfera taka dość sympatyczna, także no ale chyba taki był zamysł, przepraszam, że tak się wam wtrącam, bo czytam czat, taki był zamysł Wajlanców, prawda, żeby on był bardziej realistyczny, a Division było takie właśnie, jeśli chodzi o strzelanie. Właśnie pojawił się kolega ode mnie z klanu. No, to prawda. Division ma w sobie to ma w sobie to coś, co tak naprawdę jednak ciągnie do tej gry. Ja na życzenie moich widzów teraz będę, jak przejdę do Last of Us rano, będziemy robili od nowa takie pożegnanie z Division 1, w sensie przejdziemy jeszcze raz po prostu, znaczy przejdę ja z widzami jeszcze raz fabułę. Żona by mnie, Gregory, zabiła, wiesz, jakbym powiedział, że kupię kolejną grę na 2 platformy, nie? Także nie ma mowy. Tak, na X-ie. Będę przechodził fabułę jeszcze raz na X-ie. Nie mogę, ja nie kupuję gier w wersjach pudełkowych, wiesz? No, niestety ja pudełek mam tyle, co palców u rąk. Co palców u rąk i u nóg może, także nie wiem, może mam z 15 wersji pudełkowych, a tak to wszystko u mnie to są wersje cyfrowe gier, także no niestety na X-a, nie, ja nie kupię na PS-a. No niestety z całym szacunkiem dla PlayStation i dla wszystkich graczy, zresztą sam jestem graczem z PlayStation, ale no niestety, no jak miałem wybór... Cześć Mati, cześć, witam Cię serdecznie. O, właśnie witam kolegę z naszego klanu. Jeżeli miałem wybór, gra na Xboxa, nowa gra, po tym jak widziałem, jak wygląda na Xboxa One X Assassin, po tym jak widziałem i widzę, jak wyglądają Gears of War 4, po tym jak widzę, jak wygląda Destiny 2, no nie, wybór był jeden. Platformy Xbox One X i bez dwóch zdań. Zresztą powiedziałem, że ja lubię gry, po prostu lubię ładny obraz, lubię ładne gry, lubię nowoczesność, lubię szczegóły w tych grach. Mi to cieszy oko i ja chcę to oglądać. Na zwykłej Kulfon, wiesz, na zwykłej PlayStation, ale no niestety muszę Cię zmartwić, że wszyscy ci, którzy przeszli, znam kilka osób, które było na PlayStation 4 Pro i przyszło na Xboxa One X i no powiedziało, że tu jest lepiej, nie? Że jest lepsza grafika, lepsze efekty. No niestety, PlayStation 4 Pro ma skalowane 2K do 4K, a na Xboxie jest prawdziwe 4K. Tak więc na Xboxie One X, także no tutaj... Tak, na PlayStation 4 ja mam PS4 Slim, żeby było tak jaśniej. Ja mam PlayStation Slim. Nie, no jasne, Kulfon, nie chcę, żebyś mnie odebrał, wiesz, w jakiś sposób taki, że bo ja ja po prostu to jest taka moja opinia gdzieś na osobę na zimno. W momencie, kiedy miałem pierwszego Xboxa, czyli ten fortepian tak zwany i kupiłem, właściwie dostałem na gwiazdkę PlayStation 4 Slim i odpaliłem Division na PlayStation 4, powiedziałem, że nie mam po co wracać na Xboxa. Ta gra tak wyglądała na PlayStation. Takie porównanie. Wyglądała dużo lepiej na PlayStation niż na zwykłym Xboxie. W momencie, kiedy kupiliśmy Xboxa One X w dniu premiery, tak, magnetowid, dokładnie. W momencie, kiedy kupiliśmy Xboxa One X, odpaliłem Division na drugi dzień bodajże, albo nawet 2 dni po tym na Xboxie One X, no to usiadłem i otworzyłem buzię ze zdziwienia. Okej, już się przyciszam, oglądamy.
Alright, I'm gonna come fix something. Alright. Can you mute my mic?
My TV. So we're
Jest różnica, Kulfon, jest, wiesz? Jest, wierz mi, że jest. Jak będziesz miał możliwość włącz, zagraj w Division na Xboxie, zagraj w tą samą grę na obu platformach, czyli coś multiplatformowego i oceń sam. Jest różnica, wierz mi, jest. I rozmawiałem z kilkoma osobami, które przechodziły właśnie z PlayStation 4 Pro, odpalały Xboxy, no i... O, właśnie nawet mój kot potwierdził. Tak, tak. Nawet mój kot potwierdził, także... Ale może gdzieś tam, wiesz, w sklepie u znajomego. Tak, tygrysie, tak, już.
Now I'm on the internet. It's pretty good. I'm gonna go back and get you because I feel alone in the dark zone. No game sound?
Muszę sobie skołować taki plakat, jak jest to tam właśnie, co ten człowiek podchodzi po lewej stronie. Ale żona mnie z domu wyrzuci, jak powiem, że chcę taki plakat na ścianę. Nie ukrywam, że fajnie by to wyglądało. Tak, tak, widać, bo
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Frederick. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Are we ready to go? Do we have in-game audio? We have the webcams. We have everything.
Yeah.
Feels weird not to have OBS up, but that's okay. I have no idea. Let's keep it all over. I'd like to feel comfortable and not feeling stupid. All right, so we're gonna try to.
no tak, tylko co oni w tym PlayStation 5 wrzucą więcej? Wrzucą trochę więcej mocy obliczeniowej i tyle, wiesz? W sensie 1100 zł, tak? O tej mówisz figurce, Sikor?
I'm wearing a Division 1 hat, so I don't know if that's...
Najtaniej, gdybyście chcieli wersję z figurką Dark Zone, ma w Ultima.pl, ze sklepów mają za 360 zł, ale to ta figurka Dark Zone, tam jest pusta, goła kopia gry. Ogólnie z donate'ów zamierzam donate'y przeznaczyć właśnie na tą wersję. Figurkę zostawię sobie, a grę dam widzom. Myślę, że będzie to sprawiedliwe.
Shouldn't do that one. I'm being...
Aczkolwiek, no tak jak mówię, mi z figurek podoba się właśnie ta Dark Zone'owa, ta z tą dziewczyną, z tą racą wyciągniętą ku górze jest kozacka.
Oh, there we are. So how does it feel?
Oh man, it feels weird because I haven't played in so long. It feels really good though, man. Like, I was saying to someone the other day that Division has been, I don't know, I've been here like almost to 60 years now, so like 6 years later and playing the Division 2 for the first time on stream is kind of, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty damn cool.
Alright.
So this is, I'm trying to remember, well, okay, hello guys. Got some true sons up here.
Oh wait, I wasn't paying attention to you. I'm coming.
So good. Let's go for that.
I think.
The hive. That's the wrong hive. I pressed the wrong button. I can't play the game. Where do you come from? Okay.
No, czyszczą landmark na DZ-cie, ładnie to, tak?
No game audio, they say.
Tak, DZ.
That audio in general is low. What the? Oh, shotgun. Yeah, you do. Oh, goddamn it. And again, as we said before, this is a development build. Bugs might happen. Balance might be off, etc.
This grenade launcher is so sick. Ah! Okay, I'm in a really bad position.
That's what happened. We have an elite over here.
Ciekaw jestem, jak oni mają, które oni mają poziomy jako gracze, bo tego nigdzie nie widać, ale myślę, że chyba 30 są wbite. No strasznie dużo fioletowych rzeczy się sypie, nie wiem, czy na to zwróciliście uwagę.
I got this. It's fine.
Między innymi są żółte, ale głównie są fioletowe. Fajnie wygląda wbijanie poziomu. Nie wiem, czy też przyjrzeliście się, to wszystko widzimy w jedynce już.
I'm super savage. Yeah?
Whoops, where are they coming from?
Oh no, I'm taking so much damage. Now I'm gonna die. Oh,
Look at my sick headshots.
hold B! No, I'm dead. Alright.
Oh, crap.
It's on you, man.
Oh no.
I am dead.
No.
Although I can select a respawn point.
Yeah,
I believe in you, man. You got this.
of course. I'm not used to playing with shotguns. And then, whoa. Okay, so one thing. Huh? What are you?
You have to pause the internet to pause this game. Can you?
No, I know there's no pause button. I work with the most sarcastic.
Zamiata tym Super 90, co?
This is my life.
I believe in you.
Super 90 i co tam jeszcze jest? Jakiś LKM, kurczę.
What you got?
Yes, I actually do have some ammo for that.
There you go. You're
No,
crossbow,
well,
man.
but I was focusing on the fact that I was aiming instead of. There we go. Okay, that's all.
No zobaczymy jak będziemy tymi... zobaczymy jak będziemy... No nie, to jest PC, więc o Kronusie nie ma mowy.
I'm watching.
Zobaczymy jak tymi... Jak tymi dronami i tymi kuszami przede wszystkim będzie się operowało na konsoli, prawda, padem.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Dowiemy się
we
wkrótce,
were-
Przemek.
We're recording it right now.
Yeah,
No, it's not recording gameplay. What do you want us to do? How do you want me to prove that it's not recording gameplay? Jumping jacks?
Wait.
Okay, but I need to
Are
find...
remotes in this build?
I think so. There should be. No, I want the jumping jacks now. Jumping jacks. Then again, that could all be a conspiracy.
It's
Because
just a huge coincidence.
jumping jacks
And
is
maybe
such an iconic move.
Ella recorded her reaction to a question that never actually came up.
Exactly, because we knew it was going to be asked.
There you go.
Okay. I was trying to say something before. Right, we streamed during E3, we streamed the Game of Course a lot. We did a lot of streaming then. But I think this is the first time.
No taki trzeba będzie się do niego przyzwyczaić. Jest inny, to prawda, ale...
The one thing I would say, which is I know a lot of people in chat are talking about it, like, oh, is this on PC? The graphics and things. So one of the things that we talked about before, but didn't really go into detail on, is that this is
Chyba chciał przebiec między tymi wrogami, troszeczkę mu to nie poszło, nie?
one of those
Stabilny,
for
stabilny,
example,
no.
you know,
Stabilny.
I'm trying to say something really
you come to me?
astute
Can I-
and like and stuff. Anyway, one of the things that
I spectate you.
for
you
example, that is turned off is like object detail is set to like 10%. What? Someone went rogue on my butt.
Też mam takie wrażenie, wiesz, Kulfon, że bardziej pod Wajlancy fizyka, odrzut broni, mam wrażenie, że jest taki jak w
Object
Wajlancy.
need to
detail
respawn
is set
now.
to
I need to get back into
10%, for example. So in reality, that won't be the way it goes, because that makes no sense. And also things like post effects, anti-aliasing are turned off in this build. It makes sense for us, especially when we have not everyone in massive or people doing testing is running a like a 1080 Ti. It doesn't necessarily. Well, hang on, I actually got someone. Oh yeah. Sorry,
Alright, I'll be responding.
I don't know if anyone saw that because
There
there's
were
no way for them to see that.
there were-
But yes, so yes, it's a development build. What?
Ups.
Are we okay? Alright, it's a development build. A lot of things are turned off for testing purposes.
Nie.
What?
Nie, Div 2 robi cały czas Massive.
So should I just run Chain?
Robi Massive.
Can you find the webcam in the audio list?
Robi Massive i Redstorm, a w Wajlandsy robiło jakieś paryskie, tak? Już nie pamiętam w tej chwili, nie chcę na szybko...
Somebody pointed out, I'm Hawk, I think. Was that the name? I'm bad at names.
Moment, zaraz wygooglujemy. Wstyd, no ale no co, no trzeba się posiłkować.
Echo's back.
Ale na pewno nie to samo studio. Ubisoft Paris. A za wydanie firma Ubisoft.
Okay, I can talk now. I'm allowed to talk again. Felt a bit weird. There?
Zgadza się, no to po to chyba ich Ubi kupuje, nie? Bardzo podobało mi się stwierdzenie Jaroka na jego takim krótkim filmiku pokazującym wizytę w Malmo, w Massive, gdzie powiedział fajną rzecz, że Ubisoft jak kupi studio, to kolejna gra z tego studia wychodzi lepsza. Odwrotnie jest z EA. Tak nawiązał, nie powiedział do czego, ale chyba wszyscy wiemy do czego i do jakiej gry. Bardzo mi się podobało to stwierdzenie. No i mam nadzieję, jako wielki fan Division, że tutaj w przypadku dwójki tak będzie.
Are you in combat right now?
Yeah, we can't really go into those things.
All right. Anyway, what I said before, object detail is turned to basically nothing, so that's why a lot of things look really simplified and basic and all of that. We do those things for internal testing to make sure that people who are testing on things like super old GPUs and that sort of stuff can still join the test, so we get massive people on that.
Sikor, no BF5, nie?
You understand?
Osobiście nie grałem, ale bardzo złe rzeczy słyszałem o tej grze.
I know that you know what I'm talking about.
Nie wiem jak jest, no ja nie jestem jakimś szczególnym fanem BF-ów. Mam jedynkę, BF-a 1, ale jakoś tak...
No.
What? Yes, it is.
Oh, this guy right
Ale
there.
z tego co słyszę i czytam gdzieś tam na grupach internetowych różnych, no to nie jest za dobrze z tą grą.
Do we have? I'm not sure we have any.
Oh, there's people.
What? Wrong button.
Alright, seeking mine out. Got him.
No podobno z jedynki większość graczy z piątki większość graczy pouciekała do jedynki z powrotem, bo bez lipa, no. Ale to tak jak mówię, no to są gdzieś tam czyjeś opinie, nie są moje, ja tylko...
Okay. Where can we extract from? Oh, there's a southern extraction. Let's head over there.
Okay, let's go.
Peter, so for the people at home, do they know what... I gotta pick up this contaminated loot. Do they know what kind of loadout you're running and that sort of thing?
I'm running with the crossbow. I have the healing hide.
Wiesz, no, może dostali zastrzyk pieniędzy, no nie mam pojęcia. Myślę, że te gry Ubisoftu, które pojawiają się często w Games with Gold, to też o czymś świadczy, nie? Rzucili roga, bo nie zwróciłem uwagi, czytałem czat i...
Let's see if we can actually make it to the thieves' den that we were talking about before. Let's see if we can reach the thieves' den. Let's see if we can go for an extraction. I mean, I say this like this actually...
I hope everyone's
scary,
gone
but...
home, because they technically are on overtime right now. So if we can just, hopefully the server is empty.
I hope so, but
Rogue
I don't trust that Bruce guy.
Alright. says rogue action 90 meters.
Każda firma ma wzloty, upadki i kłopoty. No to są firmy, które są na giełdzie, no i jest raz lepiej, raz gorzej, prawda? To
This is super cool.
We are in Dark Zone West. So we haven't gone into this much detail on the stream, well, on any stream before. About this one. Alright, I think we've got to go up this ramp.
Yeah, I'm up the ramp already.
Oh, okay.
You can see that we do have the road timer on this, so we need to find one of those terminals or something quite soon, in 23 seconds even. There's one over here. Will I make it? This map, I see people praising the map in chat right now.
Oh yeah, how do we get up
It is
there?
amazing. Oh, on the
hakują
Okay,
terminale SHD, tak?
we have a thief sense triangulation of
Zobaczcie, że za każde zhakowanie wpadają kredyty też.
I just ran across the ramp on
Wpada XP i wpadają kredyty.
Okay, so there's
Czyli no to akurat jest najmniej istotne, no ale taka ciekawostka, tak?
Yo. No, I still have many hidey holes around the building. That's kind of been my whole MO for the past few years, is how many hidey holes can I generate. This was the original hidey hole, right here.
Tak, tak, no nabija, bo on go tam podbija, tak, żeby nagrody były lepsze.
The Engon hidey hole smelled really bad, so I decided to. I'm lying. It's fine.
Okay, I found something to pick here. Oh,
Hamish is lost. Yeah, I am. No, but I've actually managed to find another rogue action, which I'm just about to hack. Hacking
Awesome.
SHD network right now. So
we're building that up. We're at 65% now.
there we go. All right.
Alright, so
you
this
get-
is what we talked about during the special report as well. Going rogue now does not automatically mean that you're killing other players. You have this whole other game loop of trying to find these rogue actions, steal stuff, hack terminals, maybe even steal stuff from other players. That's not about killing. So it's more about the greed, it's more about being selfish and grabbing stuff for you and your team. And then the goal of this is to, or one of the goals of this is to find the thieves' den where you can grab a couple of good rewards and.
All right. I just hacked that one. Sorry. dude.
Okay, great. Oh, we're back together again.
Hi.
But it's also, as Matthias said, it's kind of a curve. So this would essentially just follow the curve, then you get up to manhunt. You start doing like do these rogue actions, and then from there you get kind of tempted to shoot that guy in the back, and then you do that, and then you go disavowed, and then you keep going. Get to
Sorry.
manhunt. Whoa, can I trust you?
Don't.
And from there, the manhunt terminal starts popping up.
Sorry. I'll stop trolling you now. Okay. There's.
No tak, ale to jest takie granie, wiecie, inaczej się gra jak oni są we dwóch na serwerze, a inaczej się gra jak tych graczy jest więcej i tak sobie wtedy nie pobiegają, nie powłączają tych terminali, prawda? Bo w końcu ktoś ich ustrzeli.
Ooh, inbound southern extraction. Oh yeah, that was the one that we might have called in. Anyway, let's leave that southern extraction. I guess that's someone. No, was that someone else?
Did you
called in
call
that
that?
extraction?
Is it Bruce?
Wait,
I want to find Bruce in that
I'm
case.
sure Bruce is still here.
Frying Pandroids wants you and me to say hello to them and make them feel validated and alive. Is that
Hi.
something we want to do?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Frying Pandroid. It's so nice to see all these names in chat. We missed you like crazy. We missed doing these streams. We're super happy to finally get slightly back into things.
Yeah.
Gotten a lot of love, especially for State of the Game, for example. People have been asking about that. All I can say, and
No to pewnie, że tak będzie. Słuchaj, to wiesz, to Kulfon, to jest, wiesz, to jest na razie oni sobie tam skaczą jak kucyki z krainy tęczy po tym dezecie, bo są we dwóch na nim, nie? Ale niech wpuszczą tam jeszcze z 5 z 6 graczy, niezwiązanych w żaden sposób z Ubisoftem, tak?
They are already out. You guys did an article about that, right? And there was a video out about the PC spec recommendation.
Tak, 12 osób ma być, to tak, też tak gdzieś słyszałem. Bo te strefy są malutkie.
yeah. I'll let you know. Yeah.
We're not allowed to go into it?
No, there's some sensitive dev stuff that
Oh.
we maybe need to, you know, just chill on.
Okay, let's chill. Let's
Okay.
just find the entrance at least. You're on
It's
the,
here.
you're there?
Yes. So we're just going
Didn't we
to
just leave
cut
this
away
place?
for a second, and we'll go inside, and then we'll be showing you what's inside.
Okay, so we're cutting away.
Right,
Where are
Ella,
we
let us
cutting
know
away
when we're
to?
okay. All right. Let's
Getting
go.
so dark. What are we showing on screen right now?
No i co? Nie wiem, tekstur zabrakło na wejście do środka, czy co się stało?
Okay.
O, są w środku.
Wow, that was intense.
That was the most epic.
Wow.
Okay, so this is one of the Steve stands. Very cozy. Looks
It
kinda
can't be
dirty
that
on
top
the ground.
secret. Oh, you don't know.
I'm not sure I'd like to
Better to be
hang
safe.
around here. Okay.
No, wybili wszystkich na pierwszym tym, na tym landmarku pierwszym, wiesz, no na razie
What?
Come on. The embargo on
leczą
everybody
NPC-ków
ended.
w
What
szpitalu.
did you just do?
Come on.
Snake kissed Dumbledore.
I'm sorry, chat. Sorry.
Somewhere out there, somebody didn't know that. Can we exit without you having to cut away? So. Okay, so
Let's
we're
just
gonna
cut away so we can.
But let's just look at this place. I just want to look at, because something like our world artists are. That hippo. I want that hippo.
I'm
so
really
bad in my
sorry.
life.
I'm really sorry.
Can we make?
I'm actually
Can we
lying.
make that plushie? Because I want it.
Miss Fig kills Dumbledore.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're
let's
ready
go.
to leave. You're gonna cut away.
Just say when.
Okay. All right. So enjoy the B-roll, and the logo, I guess. We can't hear the music. Oh.
Oh, does chat like that music?
Do you have a microphone that chat actually picks up?
No.
Oh, are you? Oh, what does chat think about the music? I have no idea what's going on. I don't know how the setup looks. I don't know what you guys have been doing in here. I've been sitting here all day, and I have no clue what you guys have been doing.
Yeah, there's a lot of buttons and cables, and it's madness.
But yes, well, that's a good question though, because for chat as well, it feels a little bit self-indulgent, to be fair. But what do you guys think of our new table?
The table? That's really...
The table.
That's the whole thing?
The couch is now in Hamish's office.
Chyba tak, chyba będzie jednym z lepszych. Aczkolwiek te Dark Zony mają być, jak dla mnie tak zrozumiałem z opisów i z jakichś tam filmików, że jeden ma być taki, którego eksploracja będzie opierała się na dachach, na chodzeniu po dachach, czyli taki typowo snajperski, a drugi będą wąskie uliczki i dużo ciasnych pomieszczeń, także no tak.
What?
That's your punishment for standing still too long. I'm taking your shit. Yes, I went rogue.
I felt so safe in your hands.
Dude.
All right, I'll see you at the mansions then. This is...
What? Yeah, you can.
This is weird.
Just find the music track in the audio mixer, the virtual one, and turn it right down. Whoa, whoa. Okay, fine. Fine.
Whoops. Alright, are we good? I'm gonna secure it, because you can secure
Chyba się nie spodobało, co?
or I can steal it.
Chyba się nie spodobało.
No, that's fair. I wasn't ready, you weren't ready. I think, alright, no, it's fine.
That was...
Yeah, extract.
Alright, let's go extract like a team. I want to go to the mansion, but let's go extract first. So where's the extract over there? We still don't know if Bruce is here or not. He's probably somewhere. Oh, we're not in a group anymore though.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
get in the group again. I'm not sure how that works in this build. Is there anything?
I guess we have to go nearby because we don't have friends lists and stuff. Hang on, if you just don't kill me this time.
Can't
I guess
promise
neither of us are
anything.
rogue now.
I'll try not to.
Alright, I'm coming to you.
Sabidine thinks we should go mansions, then extraction, as it's on the way. That's actually true. I think we should head to the mansions first.
Okay, hang on. Whoa.
Okay. So can you invite me to a group?
Yep.
Alright.
There you go. Let's go.
Okay. Let's go. Where's the mansions? Where are the mansions?
I am now team leader. Let's
Oh,
go.
we should have.
We're going to the south extraction. Let's go.
Okay. Alright, you lead the way. Oh, you're the group leader, so you're the one who.
Yeah.
Alright. Recruit the Zero. Bratzl in here. Good to have you here.
Hamish not using a sniper build? Yeah. It's not my choice. I would definitely just. Oh, Echo was up here.
What?
Oh, they went rogue. I'm getting hit by a drone.
Yep, drone.
Can you hit the drone?
I can't aim.
If you could hit the drone, that'd be great.
Shit.
Okay, I got the drone. And now I put a drone up.
Where's Bruce? Gotcha.
Get him. Okay.
Right, we got him. This looks uncomfortable.
All right. We are 300 meters away.
This is a perfect spot for him to get killed in.
Uh-oh.
In between a party meter and a taxi.
Rough.
Where do you go? All right. Let's see if we can.
I'm getting to that
find-
extraction.
I'm not sure. Are we extracting or are we hunting down Bruce? Because
No, we gotta extract. I want to really show an extraction.
now clap over his body sinister century. Well,
Well, let's go this way. Look at the foliage. Damn. Like I said before, people, there's a lot of stuff turned off in this build. So some things are rendering nicely, some things not so much. Object detail is turned down to like 10%, like I mentioned before.
And also remember that any balance or anything you see in here is not final either.
Yes.
It's a development build, so.
But I would
things are
much
being-
rather that we show where, what a development build looks like than show nothing. Because I think that's real cool. You get to see how the sausage is made, so to speak.
Exactly.
What's the video setting? The video setting is set to potato.
Potato.
We are 120 meters away.
Wait for me, Hamish.
I will wait for you.
I am afraid. There are rogues around. There are actually rogues around. Where'd you go?
I'm going up the ramp.
Oh, so you're up the ramp.
Yeah. I'll let you call in the extraction, or you can look at me and I'll call in the extraction.
Yeah, I'll wait for.
Just come meet me at the helipad.
Okay, let's go.
All right, you ready?
Okay, you do it.
Here we go. Boom.
I will look at you.
Patouche.
Okay, so this is probably going to make a certain person come our way.
I guess so.
Yeah, somebody was asking about something specific, and that was also a dev build. Like everything is a
Everything
dev
you
build.
can consider everything in here as a dev build.
Yes.
Because it is. Oh, whoa.
Whoa.
Someone's underneath me.
Ah, okay. I thought it was.
Extraction called for.
Chopper inbound at this time.
Where are they?
Nawet przez chwilę mieli jednego roga, nie?
Wow.
W Service Packu będą tryby dodatkowe, więc to mogą być dodatkowe najazdy, tak jak jest w przypadku części pierwszej. Przecież tak naprawdę w wersji podstawowej mamy chyba tylko jeden najazd, tak?
Alright. Can you look up in the sky and see where it's coming in from? I don't see him yet.
Chopper inbound at this time.
Somewhere.
He's probably just gonna pop in because it's a div build. People are just like, oh,
No zapowiedzieli przetrwanie, że będzie.
wait, he's just gonna.
No,
yeah?
it's 2 seconds left. Oh, please.
Zapowiedzieli przetrwanie, że będzie, no
Oh, no, here he
i
There it is.
Hey.
No fabuły to nam chyba raczej nikt nie pokaże, bo to jest tak jakby pokazać po prostu grę przed jej premierą i
I don't think
I
I
naprawdę
have any
raczej
loot
nam nikt nie
because I
opowie.
stole it.
Oh, I do. Do you want to see me put something on?
Yes, please put something on because yeah, you took
Zresztą
my
tak
stuff.
naprawdę fabuła mało kogo obchodzi. Wiesz, Sikor, to jest...
There we go.
Czemu nie spojrzy się do góry, nie pokaże śmigłowca?
Can I do one of those? Oh,
No pokaż śmigłowiec. Jest w ogóle jakiś śmigłowiec?
off the car slide.
Latają i patrzą się w dół, zwróćcie uwagę.
I guess you need to be sprinting as well.
There we go. So it's-
Oh yeah.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, you need to be sprinting.
Damn, look at that. All right. So our stuff's extracting. That's pretty cool.
Cut the
No,
rope.
we're in the same group. It's not gonna work.
No, I
Cut
don't
it,
wanna,
you won't.
I don't, I,
Okay,
I wanna
thanks,
work
thanks.
with Painted.
You
For
don't
now.
know.
No chyba tak, Kulfon, chyba masz rację, że tutaj tak naprawdę to wszyscy będą tą fabułę przejeżdżać. Większość ludzi ustawionych na PvP,
It's real good.
bo będzie ich interesował endgame i to co po 30 levelu, a nie to co przed nim.
I'm gonna aim
What?
fire.
Come on. I covered all my bases.
Sounds interesting.
But yeah, so go check out Bombshell Jackets podcast if you want a cool community-run podcast for the Division.
It's been
I would
around for a
recommend it.
long time.
So Peter, we
I
haven't
am
been-
really sad though, and I have to say this. I got a sticker from Tanks at E3.
Yeah.
I lost that sticker. I
We're-
can't find it. I want to put it on my laptop. Thanks, please send me a new sticker.
Can we head up here to the flooded mall?
No dokładnie, no to tak jest, no.
To where?
I thought we were going to the
W
mansion.
większości gier teraz takich ustawionych na tego typu rozgrywki to tak naprawdę endgame to jest to, do czego wszyscy dążą i praktycznie przez fabułę przebiegają. Rzadko kto.
Yes, look at this. Peter, you looking at me?
Yeah, yeah.
No podobno napisał
Oh my God.
któryś serwis polski, że
The doors actually do have
ujawnili fabułę na 40 godzin
FYI,
rozgrywki.
like I said, object detail is turned down to
A jak będzie, no
nothing
to
here.
zobaczymy.
So it's not just like every car is a CRX. Car jokes? No? Anyone?
I don't get
Alright.
it. I don't get it.
All right.
Incoming cargo plane.
Oop. Might want to check out that later, but let's go to the mansion. I love this place. It's so beautiful.
I love that this whole deal just looks like really, really, really bad projectile vomit. like, I don't know.
That was. Thank you for that.
I don't know that I believe the
Thank
story
you.
that they, were trying to fight off the sickness by covering it up. I just feel like they got embarrassed with how sick they actually got with their weak constitutions and decided to like
Are these the kind
vomit
of theories?
and explosive diarrhea all over this city.
Are these the kind of
Is that okay?
theories we can expect from Bombshell Jackets, or?
No, their theories are way more off base than mine. It does look like that. I know, bad cow.
Oh, I see the drop coming. I'm kind of tempted.
Okay,
to
okay,
let's-
let's
Nawet zrzut dostali na mapie, proszę
Okay,
bardzo.
let's go there.
Alright.
Okay. So we can see it from here. It's coming in. That river looks very active.
Wiesz, Kulfon, to zależy, czy komuś się będzie gdzieś spieszyło, no. Ja zamierzam na przykład fabułę przejść razem z widzami w solo rano i po południu z chłopakami z ekipy, tak?
Why are the graphics such potato? Okay, I feel like we'll have to.
Więc to wiesz, wszystko kwestia,
This is a
wszystko
development
kwestia...
build. Everything right now you see is turned down to. I'm gonna just be like blunt. It's turned.
To
down
będzie
to
dopiero
potato.
początek, więc myślę, że nie ma się gdzie spieszyć i po co spieszyć, bo jednak historia, no też zależy co kogo ciekawi. Ja wiem, że są ludzie, którzy wchodzą tutaj tylko na PvP i ich to nie interesuje, więc jest tak jak mówisz, że właśnie ci wyjadacze
Well, technically they're rendered as triangles. Game engines have changed. How would I describe a polygon?
How do you?
Oh, it just basically means that everything is simplified. So, like, we have things like LODs as well. in the game, which is the level of detail things. So when things are further away, they're set to basically render at really, really low level of detail. Imagine that basically everywhere.
Yes.
What's rendering? Look,
Oh, we have.
All right. Yeah. Oh, okay, people here.
I'm so good with an assault rifle.
All right, my drone's doing its thing.
Oh, I'm dead.
Peter, what's your drone called? What would you call your drone?
My drone?
Yeah.
The dead drone.
Wow.
Can you
I'd call mine Heather.
help please? Heather?
Yeah.
That's a good name. How come? There's Silent Hill love showing?
No, I just think it's a fierce name.
That's a fierce name. It's a good name.
I got you.
Okay. Whoa. Are they fighting zombies? Absolutely not.
Ooh.
Okay, so
Is this a beta? No, this is not the beta. This is a development build. You can expect the beta build to be very different from this.
Droney McDrone face.
Drone McDrone phase. Don't tempt me.
Okay, so let's steal this. We're gonna go rogue.
Rogue protocol initiated.
Is what it is.
Wow. Wow, dude. Hey.
Whoa.
Who's here? Oh no, that's the. I think that's the.
That's
The drop thing.
The drop exploding.
I was like, damn.
Okay, so we're still right. We're trying to go to the mansions.
All right, should we
Okay, so
try
we
and
need
clear
to
our?
go-
No, let's not try and clear our rogue. Let's go to the mansions. I want to show as much of this off as we can, so
Yes.
people
I have no idea how much time we
can see a
have.
bunch of stuff. We don't. We have time to do
We
mansions,
have
and then I
time
think
to
we
do
got to run.
mansions.
Alt F4 is a new alt. Oh, sick! I'm just gonna do that on the stream. Alec, can you try Alt F4 and see what happens?
Porozrzucali troszeczkę chyba lutu po uliczkach, wpuścili innych graczy, żeby...
Oops.
I always forget to use my grenade launcher. I gotta. Oh, do you want? Okay, Peter, come chill here.
To jest
I'm gonna grenade launch at these dudes, and then we're gonna go. Okay.
taka wyrzutnia takich...
Oh, that felt satisfying.
To może to na różne rodzaje, to może być wyrzutnia taka chemiczna, takie małe, wrzucasz tym i to z tego wychodzą takie, wiesz, małe kuleczki i to może coś na wzór takiego chemicznego, wiesz, takiej bomby chemicznej.
A little bit.
Cześć Marwal, cześć, witam Cię. Nie, to jest z alfa testów. Siema Marsko, siema. A dziękuję, jak najbardziej pozytywne jak na razie oglądamy tutaj sobie, bo oglądamy pokaz deweloperów z kanału Tom Clancy, znaczy TheDivisionGame z oficjalnego kanału, także jak najbardziej, no większość z nas tutaj to są ludzie, którzy z nas, mówię, z tych, z których uczestniczą w rozmowie i z tych, którzy widzę oglądają. To są ludzie, którzy grają do dnia dzisiejszego w jedynkę, więc no. Wiesz, Marwal, to tak...
I think, you know, in this timeline, they've reformed.
Ale to ty grasz na PC-cie, tak?
Small business, backbone of America.
We know everything about various forms of
They
chemicals.
were totally misunderstood in New York
Wiesz,
and
no.
decided to move to DC
I think that's it.
and start their shirt laundry, dry cleaning, leatherwork, alterations business.
I think
So,
that's true.
well,
I mean, they
spoilers.
look fairly spotless.
I mean,
They
it didn't make the cut for the story trailer, but I mean, it probably should have.
No ja też gram na konsoli, wiesz, także no... Czy jak grafiki to raczej tutaj nie ma co oceniać, bo to są wszystko filmiki z jakichś alfa testów, bety jeszcze nie było, także gdzieś tam to są jeszcze jakieś ich testowe filmiki. Nie oceniam.
Oh yeah, we could.
You could?
Yeah.
All right, I'll
I'm
meet you
probably
in
gonna
the.
regret this decision.
I'll meet you in the.
Wrócą do... No tak, no pewnie tak będzie.
I think they are aware.
All right, found another door. I'm in.
I found a box.
Dokładnie, jak samemu nie zagrasz, to...
Decided to equip Pulse, but but let's not bother with that.
Ale nie, ten stream tutaj on taki jest. Tu Marval dobrze zauważył.
In the back corner, they're not aggroed yet.
Mhm.
Oh, now they are. Oh, let's go.
No, PS4 tak. Nie, to wiesz, to trzeba zaczekać. Poczekamy, pożyjemy, zobaczymy co będzie, jak będą bety, tak? Beta to już jest to, co dostaniemy praktycznie w grze, także...
You missed the only...
I had one bolt, I think.
Oh, man.
Bo graczom się wydaje, że w beta testach testują grę, a tak naprawdę testują serwery dla dewelopera i tyle.
Project. I'm so sorry that we don't look more chat, but it's kind of...
Ale to ludzie już mówili, słuchajcie, jak alfa testy były, jeszcze tam parę osób z Polski brało w nich udział i rozmawiałem z kilkoma osobami, to mówili, że jest, że była lipa, no.
It's alright. It's alright. Hey,
Grafiką bym się zbyt mocno nie przejmował tutaj w tej fazie, bo grafikę to oni mają gotową już z jedynki, tak?
he said she needs to die. Is he talking about Heather?
Maybe.
Rude.
No, dokładnie.
Can you...
Także grafiką to bym tam za mocno...
The whole idea is that it's a cover base. Yeah.
Alright, landmark is cleared.
Wiesz, patrząc
No! I want to see him bleed out!
Can you help? Call for help, please.
3 dni przed premierą, tak, 3 dni przed premierą i masz prywatną betę, którą możesz kupić sobie w tej chwili za CD Case na konsolę jest za 20 zł.
You took too long. You took
Who
too
blew us
long.
up? Oh, it was Echo!
Na CDCase.com dostęp do prywatnej bety. Dostęp do prywatnej bety będzie między 7 a 11 lutego tego roku.
I'm trying to respond.
Oh, I'm dead.
Pokazują 7.11, 7.10.
I guess that's a very, very nice way to end this whole thing.
I guess it
No ja widziałem po 19.90. Aha, na Allegro już jest. No.
Hunt down Bruce.
Widocznie wiesz, ktoś kupił może gdzieś jakąś większą ilość. Na CDCase.com jest za 19.99 na Xboxa i na PlayStation.
Thank you all for hanging out with us for another hour after the special report, and of course, thank you to everyone who was there for the special report. We're so happy. I just need to say
Ja też, ale no czekam, jako że gram w Division 1 i grałem
we'll be back.
od samego początku i zaraz będę grał w Division 2, więc nawet Anthemem nie... Pomimo, że oglądałem gameplay i bardzo mi się spodobała ta gra, tak jak właśnie zauważyłeś, to jednak no ja nie przywiązuję do niego większej wagi z racji tego, że jak wyjdzie Division, to myślę, że nie będę miał czasu na nic innego. Mamy takich parę poważniejszych planów, jeśli chodzi o społeczność Division i tutaj z kolegami i nie ogarnę tego. Jeszcze gram w Destiny gdzieś tam w międzyczasie, także Destiny, Division, jeszcze czasami coś tam, wiesz, na prośbę rano widzów, tak jak w tej chwili jest The Last of Us i no i nie ma kiedy. Czyli co, to by chyba było dzisiaj na tyle. Wiesz, przejść jako fabułę i się pobawić, to na pewno tak. Czyli co, to jest na tyle, jeśli chodzi o specjalny raport z Division 2. Jeszcze zobaczymy, czy coś nam deweloperowie powiedzą, czy to już jest koniec. No ja go nie wykupuję, Marsko, wiesz, bo będę miał dostęp, bo dokonałem preorderu, tak. Tak. On ci daje pogranie zaraz mogę wam nawet linka wrzucić. Na CD Case oczywiście, bo no tam kupuję i wiem, że nie ma z tym problemów żadnych, także... Zobaczymy, czy deweloperowie się jeszcze odezwą, czy nie, czy to już jest koniec na dzisiaj. Wiesz co, jestem na Discordzie, ale naszym klanowym, także zapraszamy Cię ewentualnie. Tutaj macie linka do całego wyszukiwania na CDK frazy Division 2. Już się pożegnali? Aha, okej, no dobra, no to w takim razie to by było na tyle. Jeżeli interesuje Was rozgrywka z The Division 2, to serdecznie zapraszam do followowania mojego kanału, bo na pewno już, jeżeli nie będzie żadnych obostrzeń, to już z bety będą jakieś relacje i na pewno od 12 marca też u mnie na żywo. Proszę bardzo, Marsko. I na pewno od 12 marca już u mnie będziecie mogli oglądać grę. Także serdecznie Wam dziękuję za te 2 godziny, które spędziliśmy razem. Zapraszam na mojego Twitcha, zapraszam na nasz Discord klanowy. Serdecznie pozdrawiam, życzę miłego wieczoru i spokojnego i jutro miłego dnia i spokojnego dnia. Pozdrawiam, do usłyszenia jutro do 10:30.